here, my email, my web address. So everything is there if you want to snap a picture of that really quickly. So you'll have contact, a way of contacting me via phone, email, or I have a contact link in my website where you can actually go and still reach me there. My calendar link is also there. Um, so let's see here. Okay, so now the slides are not going to move. That's not good.
There we go. It's moving.
Okay, so again, I'm with Global Financial Impact, and we're global because we do business not only in the U.S. and Canada, but also 55 other countries. So again, our mission is to inspire families to dream again. We get so caught up in the day to day until we're not able to think about the things that we really want for our future and for ourselves and for our children. So just driving positive change in your life and in the world. So we have a fulfillment formula, which we call as our five F's. So basically this company, they ask us we're a 1099, so we're contracted, we work for ourselves. If you work good, hard, you make money. If you don't work hard, you don't make money. So, we work for ourselves, so we can do as much or as little as we like to do. But I love it because, our first fulfillment formula is faith. And so therefore, we talk about faith. It's not well, oh, you can't talk about faith, you can't talk about politics. We want you to become 1% stronger in all of your five F's. So we go from faith to family to finance to fitness and to fun. So I love all of those, and it has inspired me to again, become better in all of these areas here. So that's very important there. So anyway, our credibility, we are partners with Ethos. Ethos just went public, I think, in January. They're our technology platform, the largest, venture capitalist firm in the world. So we've dealt with Sequoia Bank and SoftBank. They're worth a combined, probably more than 185 billion now. But these companies bought like Google and Amazon and companies like them, they bought them public, so they're going to be bringing us public in 2030. So they know exactly how to do it. And those companies have been very successful. We're partnered with, A-rated companies. So again, these are companies that we write with. It's nothing wrong with your State Farms or your Primericas and different things like that, but you're very limited to what you can offer. But if you have access and you're contracted with multiple companies, you're able to take care of the needs of your clients, whether it be life insurance, health insurance, annuities. You can take care of all of those things. You're not limited to the products that you can only offer. So again, I mentioned that, we can do business in all 50 states, Puerto Rico, Canada, U.S. Virgin Islands, and it's 55 countries that we're able to do business in now. So that makes us global, and that's why they went with global financial impact. And these are the countries here that we are currently contracted that we can actually write business. Here in the US, if you're licensed, you have to be licensed in other states. You get licensed in your resident state, you take the test. And then after that, if you want to do business in other states, you just pay the fee to become licensed in those states. However, with the countries, we don't have to get our license in the other countries. We have our platform here, which is BMI, and they take care of any business that we have outside of the US. So I'm working with a couple in Turkey. I went to Turkey a couple years ago and stayed in contact with them. So I'm working on some business with a company with a couple in Turkey. So that has been really good for business as well. So when I travel, I'm working while I'm there. So again, when it comes to assisting our clients, this is basically what we do on a daily basis. And I just kind of ask everyone just to kind of think about we may not know what type of coverage that we need, but we use this method here called the dime method. And this is how you figure out what you need, what coverage you need that's going to take care of your family if you became disabled, if you were to pass away too soon. You will take, your debt and then your income multiplied by 10, any mortgage balances. And if you have babies that you're saving for college for or yourself, we factor all of that in and we do a separate column for spouses. And so that will tell us, what we need. So when I got to this business, I was like, I don't want to be a salesperson. I'm a nurse. I don't want to sell anything to anybody. But when I found out it was more about financial education and I could share this with someone, didn't cost them anything, it just made sense to me to again become a part of that because Some agent could say, oh, let me just get you $100,000. That's all you need. And they just get $100,000 and it's probably not what they need. But we want to educate our clients as to why we're suggesting the type of solution that we're suggesting for them, that it makes sense and why they're making the financial decisions that they're making. So this is kind of looking at a full snapshot of someone's financial portfolio. So again, we help them start with that foundation here, protecting your health and your wealth here with your insurance. And then from there, we're looking at debt management with them. What does that look like? Do we need to assist? Can we get you referred to someone? And then emergency funds, how do we help you get to saving money, whether it's $10 or $25 or $5,000 a month, whatever that looks like. We want you to get started if you're not already there. And then, we're taking care of your retirement. What does that look like? Are you on track? How can we, move some things around and get you to where you needed to go? And then, for our sweet babies, I'm a nana of two girls, so I love my babies, and what I found out that I could, get them started with the Index Universal Life and they won't ever have to worry about money. I'm like, sign me up because my babies have to be protected. And then we also do estate planning. So again, we work with a couple different um, law firms that takes care of our estate planning with our clients. They get a free 1 hour consultation. And then from there, they can decide if it's something they want to move forward with. So we just kind of talk about this X curve here, because this is our responsibility curve. When you're young, you have a lot of responsibilities. You don't have much money. So you're up here, and then, you don't have a lot of funds here. So you're down here with your funds. So, you want to build your wealth this here. And so we just kind of talk about those things, how we can help them move from one side to the other. It should cross in the middle. Does it always happen? Probably not. But again, we want to assist our clients with doing that. And then we talk about the 3 rules of money. Before coming into this business, I'd heard bits and parts and pieces of some of this. But then after coming into the business, it made sense. So therefore, the rule of 72, has anyone, heard of your rule of 72? Trying to see if I can see everybody. Um, but your rule of 72 tells you how long it takes your money to double. I'm like, oh, I need to know that because, if you're saving and you don't put if you don't think about your taxes and your inflation, are you really saving any money? So that was exciting. I'm like, oh my goodness, so if it's in the bank, it takes 72 years for your money to double if it's just sitting in a regular bank. I only have 172 years in my life, so that's not really going to work for me. If you have a 4% rate of return, it's going to take, so we're all starting out with the same 10,000 for everybody. Okay. And it just shows you'll be 101, 29, if you start at 29, you'll be 101 before your money doubles at 1%. But you think about at 29 at 4%, at least at 65, it'll double a couple times. If it's 6%, it'll double, a few times, and then at 12%. So I always tell people, someone, if they say, oh, invest with me. Okay, well, why am I investing with you? I don't know what the rate of return is, and you're thinking that you're making money, but you're really not. So therefore, we have to know what our rate of return is when we're looking to invest in something, and then how your money grows. Is it at a fixed rate? Is it at a variable rate where you're up and down, and losing and gaining, losing, gaining? My nerves are too bad for that. So I can't do a lot of variable stuff. But my index, I love that because you ride the wave when it's up, and then when it's low and that's 0%, you'll get 0%, but you're not going to lose any money like you do in the variable market. And then, how are we taxed? Like some people, they're not sure, okay, is it, am I taxed now, tax later, tax advantage? And your tax later is good for some people because they need that, tax break. If they're really getting a tax break, that's what I always learn. Put in your 401k, it's a tax break. Is it really a tax break? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And so therefore I try to move most of my stuff to my tax advantage if I can, because again, I don't have to worry about what the taxes are going to look like on the back end. I've already paid my taxes. Whatever monies that I have, I tell other people, when they're talking about their 401ks, well, I have this, that, and the third. I said, but you have to realize that, whatever that tax bracket, that tax number is, when you go to withdraw, you could lose 50% of your money. So therefore, do we figure out how we can get some things moved around now? Do you just wait and say, okay, well, I lost 50% of my money? So again, it's just knowing these things. And again, like I said, coming into this business, I knew I didn't know a lot of this stuff, so I did a lot of changing. I'm happy about the changes that I made. But these are services as a licensed agent that you can offer, which again, we talked about your tax advantage, your wealth accumulation. We're looking to protect your assets. If you have qualified funds, for rollover, or if you have non-qualified funds that, you want to put them somewhere where it's going to work for you. And then this college education fund. This is one that, I talk to a lot of parents about because they say, oh, I have 529. That's great. But college is going to look at that as money on hand. If you put their money in the index universal life, they can't see it because it's attached. Your death benefit is attached to it. You can use that money for whatever. But these 529s, you can only use it for college. So if they don't go to college, then what? So that's a way that I, encourage them to, look at something different. Again, we talked about debt management and then your infinite banking, your own family banking. You can bypass the bank and put your money somewhere where it's really going to work for you in, a different type of vehicle. And then your life insurance and living benefits. Now, living benefits was huge for me because I had no idea that I could use my death benefit if I was become disabled. I could pull from that, while I'm still living. And it really hit home for me because I had been in the business a couple years. My husband got COVID and it attacked his liver. And the thing about it is, people say I got long or short-term disability at work. That's great, but they're only going to pay you 50 or 60%. Where are you going to get the rest of your money if you need 100%? So that's when your living benefits will kick in. We didn't need to pull from our house, but to know that we had that peace of mind of money sitting over there if we needed it, it just made sense for us. Again, we talked about the estate planning a little bit. Again, for independent people, you have your self-employment IRAs and different Roth and different index growth plans, and your mortgage protection. I didn't know that you can use your life insurance and put it into a whole life and let that thing work for you and you can pay your mortgage off sooner, but you also still have those extra funds sitting there. So it just, a lot of things that we do, it just makes sense for me. And then also with your business owners, we do strategies for business owners as well, to protect their employees as well as themselves. So again, with this company, if someone's working for us, so if someone had a annual premium that they're paying, let's just say it's $2,000. So basically, we get paid on the first 12 months of that. So if it's $2,000 for the year, depending on what your commission level is, you'll get paid upfront for that particular premium. And so therefore, that's pretty much, how we get paid. I'll just kind of talk a little bit about that. Um, so basically, most people coming in, if they come in and they have a license and they've done some business, then we look at different commission levels for them. But most people come in at 40%, and then you're 50, you're 60, you're 70, and then 85%, which your agency owner here. But let's just say if you had a family and they were paying $500 a month, and you multiply that by 12, that's $6,000. So whatever your commission level is basically what your commission payout will be. So at 40%, you get $2,400, and it just kind of works its way down. When you become an agency owner, you actually get bonuses, and then you have generations. You go 7 generations, 7 levels deep when you have your agency, when you become a executive marketing director. So, just looking at something like that, you can really make some good money if you're a executive marketing director and you did the same $500 a month, $500 a week to help a family. You'll make about 265 a year. And if you had some team members with you, because again, we get an override from any of our downline, we get override from any business that they do. So if you had about 6 agents that's working under you and they're working with families and, with the $500 per, say per month, not even a week, that's an additional $14,000 per week. So you're at about, over, $750,000 a year. And then you just kind of look at that, then you're looking at about 84,000 a month and, $1 million, per year. So again, we don't get paid directly from the clients. We get paid directly from the insurance companies. So therefore, that's it's easier for us to, not have to worry about exchanging funds and different things like that. But it's a business. I came in, I wanted to make 5,000 extra per month. And so, being here and figuring out, okay, I can say how much I want to make, and I just go out and do the work and get there. So, most companies you can't do that. This is what you're going to make, and that's it. You can't just say, okay, I got to do this, and this, and I can make this extra money. With this business, you can do that. Um, and also, we have what we call our fintech bonus. So anyway, we have a platform that's set up for us that kind of takes care, tracks everything for us. If someone's late on a payment, we get a notice right away. We can do DocuSign in there. It tracks all the business. So it's a great platform that we have called Teva Tech. And so what we've done is to motivate our new recruits to get licensed quicker. They have the fintech bonus, and so basically they can write business of 50%. If I had a new business partner, I can write the business and then do the 50 split. And it goes into like a bonus pool. And then once they get their license, they can see as they're doing business how that number just keeps going up, keeps going up. And they're like, I have to hurry and get my license so they can just dump this money into my account. And so we found that a lot of people are getting licensed much quicker because they can see they have funds sitting over there. So that's been a great thing that we started, I think, in February of this year. So it's been really good. Um, so again, as far as our, new business partners, when they come in, it's different levels that, people come in. Some of them just say, you know what, I just want a free consultation, just to kind of talk about a few things, take a look at what I already have. Is it the best thing for me and my family? And that's great. And then others will come in and they say, okay, well, I'll just do some revenue sharing, or I'll just do a referral. I have two people that they just do referral. They got licensed because they wanted to make more money. I do a referral bonus anyway, but they found that they would make more money if they became a referral partner. And so therefore they send me people. I write the business. 40% goes into their account and they move on. They never have to, touch into the business no more than just telling someone, give her a call and, she'll take care of you from that. People come in, they're part-time or full-time, or they're building, to become an agency owner. And so this is kind of where, people can, come in. A lot of people, they start as clients and then they decide, okay, I want to be an agent. I encourage people, if they're thinking about becoming an agent, go ahead and sign up to be an agent. And then as you're doing your own business, you can get paid on that business. So that just makes more sense than them just being a client. And then, the monies and the points go to me, whereas it can go to them as well. So I prefer them to, take care of their own, families and different things if they can. Um, so again, this is my presentation. I thank you all for listening. This is like my sign up if you want to become a part of GFI. I would love to talk with everyone individually, just to see where you are and, maybe if there's some changes or different things that you could do. So yeah, if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
You can stop sharing so we can all be together.
I have one question. How do you,
Okay.
are there referrals for this industry? I mean, how do you get referrals? Or it's only just people you come into contact with and what you might, I want to share with you as a referral option?
Right. And so as far as contacts, when I came into the business, it was basically friends and family, and I got referrals from friends and families, and I still continue to get referrals from friends and families. I've been in a little over 3 years. I've never purchased leads, but we do have leads that you can purchase for whatever type of business that you're looking, whether it's life business, annuity business. So there are leads that you can purchase. But I've actually just kind of pulled up the white pages and I call people, so I do cold calling. I have a virtual assistant that works with me, and he does a lot of phone calls for me to set up appointments. So I've been very fortunate that I've not had to spend money on leads, and so I just call out to a friend or family and say, hey, who do you know? And that's basically how I've been running my business. So it's been very, very, very good for me. Very good for me. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right, right.
All right, so we're going to do a breakout room, and everybody introduce yourselves, talk to each other, tell each other about, and if there's a book or there's a service that you can buy, then help one another and encourage one another.
How
And if
do
you can't do that, then go on social media and make connections.
How did the last breakout do?
Yeah,
Were you
really
able to
nice.
meet people or talk to
Did
them?
you all
Did
enjoy?
everyone introduce themselves? How did that work?
It was really good. We made a good connection, the group that I was with.
Very
Okay,
good.
so let's do that again,
Okay.
and I'm going to open up the rooms. Okay, and if you've repeated the room, just come back to the main room, and I'll reassign you. So just join your groups. Yeah.
This thing, how do you deviate that way?
Um,
Okay.
okay, good. So we're together. Okay. You need to join your group because I assigned people for you to sign people up. Did you see your group?
For me or?
No, Sandy. She's frozen. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So now you and I can sit down and talk about what we want to do. I'm a co-host, then you can share your screen. So I made you a co-host. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Elizabeth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can.
For some reason, my something has changed, and my background has changed, and
Oh, you
I
can
couldn't
change it
hear in the
now.
breakout room.
Oh, you can change it now. I made you a co-host, so.
Yeah, no. I mean, I couldn't hear anything in the breakout room. I'm going to leave this one and log back in to
No,
make
just
sure
stay
it's
with
all
me.
working.
Don't leave. Do your background now, because you're going to go with your
That's what I'm
business.
saying. Is I can't. You're
Try,
gonna.
try.
Yeah, I
Can
can't
you?
do it this way. I just tried to do it, so I'm going to log off on this one and come
Okay.
back in.
All right. All right. All right. So I want to show you my slides, and I'll put that in there, the bottom of the screen. Okay. Okay. And then the gala. So, you looking at my slides?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have to talk about Brightside too. Okay.
So something's still going on, but can you?
Oh, can you see the icon, the
Yeah.
video icon, and you
And
can't change
I
your
can't,
backdrop?
it's not letting me share.
I'll share my slides then. I have the slides. Let me
Did you
see.
get the slides?
Yeah, I did get them. Let me see.
Okay. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know what's going on. I
just
had the second computer so that I can see the chat and things like that because I'm having an issue with my second monitor. And so
okay.
that's why I'm going to, if you're going to share the slides.
Let me see. I just had them downloaded, so hold on. There we go.
I
Now,
was, I,
if you want to not do the game and only speak, that's fine. If you want to do the
I've got
game,
it.
you can. It's up
I've
to
got
you.
it done for about 10 minutes or less.
All right.
We kind of reduced it, but you know what? When you were doing the stuff with Sandra, I was able to see the share function. So I don't know why it's not, whatever you did for her worked. If you can
Oh
do
no,
this.
no, she shared it from her screen.
Oh, she did.
Yeah,
Oh, as a co-host.
yeah, hold on. Let's see if I can download your slides. Hold on. Hold on. I got you. I've missed you. I've been so busy. I don't know what I've been busy with, but I
Well,
have
that's
been.
good. Lots of good stuff. Everything looks good.
Yeah. I did make a list for you of the tutoring places, but they were just difficult to work with. None of them wanted to. So anyway, I will look at it at another angle. I think your best bet is for getting a grant and then giving away the games.
Yeah.
I did a lot of work for you, but it
Thank you.
yeah.
I've been doing a lot of conferences, and those have
Oh,
worked really
good.
well. And so that's a strategy that's working. Going to the conferences, playing it with people, and especially educators. So I'm doing a lot of education conferences this year. That's working really well.
Awesome.
And they will get that into the tutoring. Let the teachers do it.
Yeah, they said that the teachers have to do it. Okay. Now, why can't I download this slides? It's showing like this. It's not letting me download.
I can't see it. Could you make me co-host?
Yeah, you are
Okay,
cool.
let's try
Uh-huh.
that.
Okay, hold on.
And you know, the JC, that's my second computer. That's just so I can see when they type things into the chat without messing up my screen.
Okay, hold on. Co-host. There we go. Confirm co-host. I'm making both co-hosts. All right. Now, can you share?
Let's see. Well, I have to go share to main session only. Yes, I can. Yep.
Share.
Yep.
Let me see. Ah, there you go. Perfect.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Do you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah. Because what we'll do is I'll bring everybody back. When we bring everybody, I want everybody to introduce themselves, so they get a chance. Otherwise, they grumble that we didn't give them a chance.
Yeah, no, that's problem. So everybody will get a 1 minute chance to introduce themselves, including me, and then we'll
Yes.
circle back around and say,
Presentation times. Yes.
okay, let's do the presentation and play the game. Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as they finish their introductions, then you do the presentation, and then Mike will do his right after yours, and then for the ones who want to stay, will do theirs. Now I want to do a quick share of slides when people come back for Brightside, because some people don't know who we are, and I just need to do a quick 5 minute. I found a lot of money for you guys, so I want to show you what I found. Yeah. And yeah, I will. Hi, Tamara. How are you? You look so
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm gonna let you go first with we're gonna do intros now, and then
Okay, so I just do the 5 to 7 minute thing. I don't do my whole slideshow. Is that right?
if you stay, you can do your slideshow at the
Okay.
end. Yeah,
But
if
right
you
now
stay,
is just my little 5 minute spiel or
yeah,
whatever you want to call it.
yeah. And
Okay.
if you want to do the slideshow, you can. Because three people didn't come, so we've got some
Oh,
time.
okay.
Because I had to time everything. Because five
Right.
minutes
Yeah.
times 10 is 50 minutes. Yeah.
I know. That's like almost an hour.
Yeah, so but three people, so we've got a little window.
Yes.
Welcome back. And Steve, it's so good to see you. Welcome back. Oh, Mike and Linda and Raj and Yvonne, and Dana. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're going to try to move as quickly as we can, and I definitely want each of you to get a chance to present. So I'm going to just quickly walk through what Brightside does, and then I'm going to bring you all on to share what you all do. And as Tamara said, if you want to do slides, you can, but you just have to stay till the end. Okay, so we will let you do that. So Brightside is a video podcast where we teach you everything about video. So like for example, we're recording our sessions today and they'll be shared with everyone as well. So where is my record button? Okay, it disappeared. All right, I'll come back. Okay, stop.